Did you ever get to meet Ferlinghetti?
No, never met Ferlinghetti.
What would you have said to him?
Thanks. Makes a hell of a story. As you can see, I have very little by way of secrets. I will tell almost anything on myself because when you start having secrets, you don't write truthfully anymore. You're afraid that someone will find out, that you will reveal yourself in some way, whether it's, the great awful thing you did in your life, or your sexuality, or when you cheated on your spouse, or whatever the fuck it is. By me telling all of these things on myself, no one has ever been able to blackmail me. And thus I am not afraid of anything. Because what can they do? I mean, they're going to throw me in prison? Show me any con who's going to want to butt-fuck an old geezer like me. When he puts it in my mouth, it comes away real short. So, am I getting into, are you worried about your masculinity?
No,
He's all male. He's all male.
I was just thinking about the time we
Except
buried
the
that
hair on
hooker.
the back of his hands, which scrapes off when he walks. Go ahead.
I don't know why.
You're interviewing me.
Yeah, I know I interview you. So
interview me.
So you've now seen this film several times.
I love this film.
Yeah.
I am so divorced from this film in the best possible way. I didn't realize they were making it for 21 years. It shows you how stupid I am. But he made the film, and when I finally came to realize that they were actually making this film, I was the trope I keep using, because it's the only one I can think of, is I'm one of the survivors of the people who are on the Lost Island, and I'm sitting on this beach, and the tide keeps coming in and going out, and I'm sitting on the beach watching and not realizing that there's this entire culture growing up behind me. When you're busy living your life, you don't have time to think about much of anything except posterity. Will anybody give a shit 20 years after I'm planted? I don't have to worry about that anymore. I live in a society that is now drunk on the scent of Britney Spears' thong, and it cares nothing about anything. I can go out in the street and ask any 25 people, have you ever heard of Guy de Maupassant? Have you ever heard of Colette? Have you ever heard of Lawrence Ferlinghetti? And everybody is no price. Everybody is no price. Everybody has lived long enough to become a memory, and that's it. So I don't have to worry about that as long as I can continue to pay the rent. Yes, buy the books, by all means. Actually, that's a lie. I own my house, but it's not a huge mansion. Well, it's a terrific mansion. It's not a mansion. It was a tract house when I started out. Now it's kind of weird. Well, it's actually very weird.
It's one of the weirdest houses I've ever seen.
Yeah.
In the best way possible.
Yeah. It's a very weird, but I love it. As I love this movie.
This
movie is like a three-legged yellow dog. I like this. What? I was going to finish the answer.
You'll never finish.
I'll finish this answer in one sentence.
Just talk about your house.
Your what?
I was going to talk about your house.
You can talk about my house.
Go ahead.
We can do that. We don't practice this, folks. This is all...
They know.
He's tolerating. Motherfucker is tolerating. I watch Lie to Me. I know microfacial expressions. You don't fucking tolerate me. I don't want you to tolerate me. I can get mean. You don't want to see me when I'm mean. Because I'm mean.
It is irritating.
And I even brought ink and fountain pens to sign the books when you buy the books. This movie is very strange to me and very out-of-body experience. I look at it and I watch this crazy old fucker with the crazy old man hair, and I say, he's funny. He's really funny. I would love to have lunch with this poor guy one day. He's really funny. And then I realized, oh yeah, it's me. And that's what I think of the movie. I think it's a terrific movie. I think it's a funny movie. And what the hell?
When you first met, by the way, Harlan Ellison, the guy who directed it, and
I had
such a labor of love.
Absolutely nothing to do with it.
And I think he's actually listening on a cell phone back there. Am I right? So can you get a hand for Eric?
Eric, I'm sorry. Yes, that is the camera. That's the camera. Eric, I'm sorry. I didn't vouch. I'm not worthy. Oh, great. Directorial. I am not worthy. God knows I am poor piece of garbage of human flesh. I am shit stained in the diaper of humanity. I am sorry. Eric, I wish you were here with a machine gun.
Eric's produced great films. Eric produced Grizzly Man, Encounters at the End of the World.
Anybody who works with Werner Erhard. Christ, I'm really losing it. Werner Herzog.
Several films.
Not Werner Erhard. Werner Erhard was the Est guy. Ayn Rand was a big fan of my work. Honest to God, that's the truth. I was told that by her lover.
I have no response.
Nathaniel Brandon told me that. He came to the house and he said, Ayn, you talk to me. Ayn, mostly Dick Cheney talks of Ayn Rand. But Ayn Rand spoke of Harlan. I'm so famous, some days I can't even get out of bed.
You read Ayn Rand?
I read as much Ayn Rand as I can stomach. The Fountainhead is not a bad book. Atlas Shrugged is like traveling through Mesopotamia in your underwear. There's that one.
When did Eric first come to you, and was he clear at the time about making a documentary, or was he just...
No.
Yeah,
he used me. Bastard used me.
That was back to the Video West. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time.
I saw a lot of that when it was first broadcast.
What year was that?
It had to be 79, 80. Right.
He was, I think, the middle 70s is when Eric first started hanging out or whatever. He had all manner of strange and interesting jobs, such as, working for how many here of you have seen Milk? There's part of the story that is not told, and I'm not going to tell it. There's a part of the interesting part of the story that is not told. There was a big entrepreneur builder, mall builder at the time, and I'm not going to go into that, but Eric worked for him during the period, and he was there the day Dan White shot Harvey Milk and the mayor. And when they asked Dan White why he had shot Milk, he had not intended to shoot Milk. You know who he was going for? Feinstein. And he never got to Feinstein, and he ran into Milk, and Milk sneered at him. Sneered at him, and that was just enough for him to pop him and kill him. Well, Eric goes back. What year is that? What year is...
That has to be 78.
78, okay. So Eric started coming around, that I remember, at a book signing that I was doing, and he said, "Do you mind if I take some footage of you?" And I said, "No, I don't mind. Go ahead." And he kept coming back, and he became familiar. And then he said, "Can I come over to your house and shoot you typing?" And that's the earliest footage that you see.
Camera. Just like Harvey Milk, a guy asked you to shoot.
No, it's blocked. I think most people could have made that leap. I'm telling you, the brain fever is getting progressive with you. You better do something about it fast and stop eating those live rabbits. So I never realized until perhaps, the film has been out now for about a year, and it was about maybe a year before that. So it's only 2 years that I've known about this seriously. I had no idea I thought it was a fanboy project, one of these little pieces. I didn't realize Eric had a huge company.
It was more than a year, actually, because he came up and shot us in Toronto. That was 10 years ago. The scene where the shots where you see me with that hideous goiter on my neck, that you're going to see in the next film, which is The Discarded, which Josh and I wrote and was on ABC last year. And you'll see that scene in the final thing, which is pretty funny.
They didn't cut it out.
No, they didn't cut it out.
There was some argument about that. They're going to cut this shit out anyways.
Oh, you were convinced they were going to cut your scene. You were convinced.
Well, I was. Was I?
Yeah.
Okay. That be, as we say in Yiddish.
Should we talk about The Discarded for a minute? You're all staying for The Discarded, I hope.
Oh, no, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh,